Hey everyone, it's October 21st, and that means that if today's your birthday, you share with serial killer Doctor Michael Joseph Swango, who may have killed as many as 60 victims in the 1980s and 90s, and that is him right over there. Born in 1954 in Tacoma, Washington, Swango grew up in Quincy, Illinois, where he tested at a genius-level IQ of 160 in high school, winning awards from the National Merit Scholar Foundation and playing clarinet in the school band. His father was an alcoholic veteran of the Vietnam War, which led to his parents divorcing, after which he saw little of the man. Swango graduated high school in 1972 and joined the Marines, after which he went on to attend medical school, where he was thought of as a brilliant but unmotivated student. Many patients he was assigned to check on during his residency, however, suffered life-threatening emergencies, with at least 5 of them dying. Despite a negative letter of recommendation, he obtained a surgical internship at The Ohio State University in 1983, which was also doing a great job of protecting their student-athlete wrestlers from another predatory doctor that only took 20 years to fire when coaches ignored their pleas for help. At least 7 patients died under Swango's care that year, and nurses reported seeing him inject unknown substances into their IVs shortly before their deaths. One patient who survived later told investigators, "A blonde doctor put something in my IV and everything went black." Preferring to sweep it under the rug and not face scrutiny for why they hired him in the first place, The Ohio State University administrators let him finish his year as an intern but didn't invite him back for the standard 5-year residency. But The Ohio State University gave him a letter of recommendation, so I guess you really can fail upward, just not all the way to Speaker of the House. He obtained his medical license, getting hired as an EMT back in Quincy, Illinois. Shortly after his arrival, paramedics began suffering sudden bouts of nausea after Swango offered them a snack. He was placed under surveillance, and one victim searched his gym bag, where he found a large quantity of ant poison. The police were called, and Swango was charged with assault, with a search of his home revealing that he had an enormous stockpile of acids, industrial chemicals, and poisons, along with several chemical formulas and recipes for making poison. Convicted of assault, he served 4 years in prison, but there was no murder charge levied for what he had done in Columbus. Released in 1989, Swango bounced between office jobs in Virginia, where coworkers often complained of sudden stomach pain. He soon fell in love with a nurse at a local hospital, and the two planned to marry, with Swango changing his name in 1991 to seek work as a physician, being hired in Sioux Falls, Idaho. Despite using forged credentials, he did well in his new job, and colleagues thought of him as an asset to the hospital staff, but he attempted to join the American Medical Association, and their background check turned up his poisoning conviction. The TV show Justice Files ran a segment on Swango at about the same time, and he was fired. His bride-to-be began suffering violent migraines and left him to return home to Virginia, where her headaches stopped, but she eventually committed suicide with arsenic found in her system. Under another assumed identity, he was hired as a doctor in New York, and again his patients began to turn up dead. Swango was found out at his current employer, and a warning was sent to every medical school and hospital in the country. When federal authorities began looking into the case, he fled to Zimbabwe, where he was hired at Mneye Hospital, and again his patients often died suddenly. Swango was charged with poisoning them, but escaped the country and was intercepted by INS agents at O'Hare Airport on his way to Saudi Arabia in 1997. He pleaded guilty to defrauding the government for faking his immigration paperwork, and while he was locked up, prosecutors built their murder case. Facing the death penalty in Zimbabwe, he opted to plead guilty to 3 murders in the U.S. instead to avoid extradition. He is serving 3 consecutive life sentences in a federal maximum security prison in Colorado. The FBI believes Swango killed approximately 60 victims through poison and overdoses, though the exact number will likely never be known. If this is your birthday, I hope you have a great day. Leave me a comment so I can wish you a happy birthday. If you know someone whose birthday it is today, send them this video so they can find out all about their birthday twin. And to Dr. Michael Joseph Swango, I say, happy birthday, you bastard.